meaning I had to discover what my citizen was feeling and why. I made a conclusion. Nada was tense, confused, and frustrated. Nada was feeling confused because she didn't know what to do about the issue. Nada was tense because she cares about the environment deeply. Nada was also frustrated because as time went on, she thought the environment would have to be heard. Define. The next step I did for my CDX project was define a social issue. A social issue is a community-wide problem that relates to more than a handful of people, a community. What social issue was my problem? Communication, transportation? To start off defining, I looked at all the possible social issues from education, food, and communication to environment. I then related them to a real-life problem. For example, a social issue is food. People are hungry in the world. To solve that in real life, people haven't made food banks to donate. And then a celebration because everyone's happy now. Now it was my turn. My social issue was to help the environment and energy, because Nada wanted to create energy that didn't harm the environment. But how was I going to help? Iggy. I got with my group and shared my project. They had some ideas on what to do. In the end, I stuck with my own idea. I made basically just a rain pump, and when the rain power comes down, it pushes, and the force comes up, and it creates energy on the inside of it. Basically, it was a pump. At this point, I wasn't quite sure where I would get the water source from. So basically, my main question was, how am I going to get water into my machine for it to work? I found an alternative solution. Instead of having a rain power pump, I could get it from a nearby stream. And then I would turn it sideways because I think it would be easier to create both forces. Next, I built my first prototype out of clay based on my drawing. I then put my partner, Jamie Nelson, and got feedback. This feedback I used in my next design. After showing them my design and explaining how it works, my feedback was, how does energy get collected? And they said they liked how I was creative with the water. Things that I decided to change was to make a box to collect energy so the machine functions properly. After getting feedback, I dove back into the creativity world and made a few modifications. So you can see I put a dome above it, and I put the energy collected, and then I put a way to collect, to change how the bungees would be controlled, so then both forces can come and be changed slowly or faster. So then that could be modified. Go back one actually. And my star was my bungees, and questions I had were, how will water get into it in the first place, and what is the dome made out of, and how do the turbines run? So that's how I made the control turbine. To make my project better for my final draft, I made the turbine solar panels so they can run without non-renewable energy being used. Here's a picture of my final draft. It is a rectangle-shaped box with bungees inside, so the machine can smoothly move back and forth. At each end of the rectangle is a stick attached to an individual turbine. The turbines have a control panel that can make the turbines run fast, slow, or turn off if needed. It can also control which way the water goes, so there are two different forces fighting at the same time to create the energy on the inside. There's an energy collector to collect this energy on the opposite side of the control panels. To collect water for this machine to work, water flows in from the stream. And between the two, and water is so you can see that the stream would be there. Here's one picture, and the tube would be, and then there would be a huge dome around it. So there's an animal safety thing, so it only detects water and won't take any animals or branches, so the machine will malfunction. And then at the same time, the dome will be protecting so that nothing can go in or out. This is my Morphe design. So what I did is I dragged in a rectangle. Then I put two poles on the end and a star, and I changed the side length and made them skinnier to make the turbines. I then merged another stick and then copied it several times to represent the bungees. They couldn't be rounded circular because that would have been too complex for the 3D printer. And then I have the control panel and the energy collector. This is a half triangle, and that's a rectangle. I just both merged those. And it still wouldn't print properly because it just wasn't, like when I uploaded to Thingiverse, it just wouldn't show up properly, so it would show up really off the template, and we tried several times, it just wouldn't work. And then I found something really cool. I was looking at some other city projects from other classes. I just thought it would be cool to show you a few pictures because it was really cool because I know that Chantal has Malika, and I saw how another person all the way across the world solved Malika's issue, and it's totally different from Chantal's. I thought that was just so interesting. So, yeah. This is the difference between my first and last piece. So you can see how the diagonal has changed, the dome has come up, the colors, and there is a way for the water to get in and out. And for my reflection, advice I would give to anyone else doing this project would be to take as much feedback as you can get, because feedback points out the obvious you missed, even when you don't see it. But it can also change your whole device and bring up marks. I know that at 2 points, I got just different perspectives that pointed out the obvious, maybe because I was too deep into the complexity to look at the obvious. Things like, where does the water come from, or how does the energy get collected? Also think, not just complex, but simple, like I said before. I wish I had took more time to brainstorm and ideate personally, because I feel my first answers were not too different from my last answers, because I didn't have time in between to think. What else can I do? What if? We usually got feedback and then built it in our time regularly. I think if I took the time to stop and think about what I was doing, even if step by step, how does it work, missing pieces, I would have different outcomes and maybe a bigger final improvement. I really enjoyed the idea of the city of St. Carlos and how everyone had a different issue and how everyone dealt with it a different way. I guess ultimately, I love the creativity behind the City X project. I got more engaged in my learning using the City X project. I know that's kind of cheesy, but I really like it.